Welcome to Sof Badmonkey, a safe space for savages. This podcast is comedy. We don't discriminate. We don't care about your race, religion, sexual orientation, or gender identity. We make fun of everyone equally. We are veterans, offensive by nature, so if there's kids in the car, turn us off. Seriously, I'll wait. We've evolved. It's still JD and Uncle Steve, but now we have Paulie. As for Jay, he's fluffing on man porn. We talk like we are in the team room, platoon space, or whatever you call it. We're meat eaters and knuckle draggers, so put on your fucking helmet because we're coming in hot. Welcome to another episode of Sof Badmonkey with your host, Jason Delgado. You see, he's not fucking there, right?
Jason, my man, what's good?
Jason's in PR, doing stuff, started another tattoo parlor, and I was going to get a giant plastic fuck doll and put it right there, but I didn't.
Nice.
And, you know, Steve Ralston, or Uncle Steve, and I'm here, Sin Martinez from Afro Brutality.
Hello,
Afro Brutality,
hello.
And what else? Got Black God, what, Villain 6,
Villain
White
6.
Devil. What else? What other fucking companies we putting out for you?
That's it for now.
That's it for now?
That's it for now.
Cool. Well, Sin and I have been friends for a while. He's been a fucking fan of the show. And we had a buddy of his on, Johnny Payne. We did an interview with him, Army infantry guy, some veteran stuff like we were doing. However, we've changed the energy of the show. You know, we were the second vet podcast out there. And now it seems as if there is a certain recipe for each show. You know, they have a bunch of dudes come in, they talk about a bunch of crazy shit they did, and then fucking don't kill yourself. You know, great, I don't want anybody to fucking kill himself. However, all the shows are getting fucking stagnant. And we are turning away from that. So what do you got going on at Afro Brutality currently, Sin? What can we help you with?
So, I don't know if you remember this, but when we were talking about Villain 6,
Right.
we were really talking about mental health, suicide prevention, that sort of stuff. It was going to be me, Johnny, and then we'll get into the rest of that later. Of course, Rory, and then Ray, and you, and Jason, and that sort of thing. And we're going to create this thing we call the V unit, the villain unit, and just kind of spread that kind of awareness.
And where'd that Villain 6, right?
Correct.
Right. And where'd that come from?
So Villain 6 was Johnny's call sign.
Right.
And Johnny and I have known him 15 years.
Right.
You know, we always talked about a way that we could collaborate. So I threw some ideas at him, and we came up with the Villain 6, Black God, White Devil thing.
Right.
Really to attack racism.
Because fucking racism is fucking stupid. It's used by the fucking elitist filth to fucking keep us separated, right?
Right.
Because now anybody who has two fucking brain cells to bounce together can see where your ancestors came from and where my ancestors came from. It's got jack to do with shit.
Exactly.
But the politicians use it because they're fucksticks. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
So it's an extension of that. What I'm doing with Afro Brutality is as much death as I've been dealing with suicide. I got my first suicide notification in like 2016. Where they said, hey, you know, thank you for that post last night. I didn't kill myself. And I was just like, whoa.
So did they send you a text? Did they call you? They DM you on
DM you.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
So I decided to hone that in and really take that on, really spearhead that as much as possible. So I've been studying all there is about death.
What's that mean? You've been studying all there is about death. What's that translate to?
There's different religions and the way that they deal with different rituals.
Right.
Different death rituals. But I've got into different stages of grieving, the way different, you know, even children, the way children grieve or deal with death, the way normal people deal with death, different types of ways that there is to, let's say, die or pass on.
Right.
So I've looked at, you know, green cemeteries,
right,
tree burial, death by sea,
that's
burial by sea.
So do you grind the body up and then plant a tree on it, or you just put the body in a bag and put a tree on it? What do you do?
So there's a technique designed about, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was aquatic cremation.
Okay.
So you basically dissolve the body down, Then you've got bones or remains there.
Right.
There's no admissions the way that there is with cremation.
Right.
Then you grind up the bones.
Right.
Then you have a lot more to deal with in terms of urns and stuff like that.
Right.
So then you put it in a tree burial or something like that, or some put it just in the ground. Like there's no casket, there's nothing else. Some are shrouded and then dissolve. That body dissolves over time.
Right.
There's also dissolving caskets as well, so that the body and the casket dissolves, so that we can get all this metal and all this non-biodegradable stuff out of the ground and come up with a holistic way or a better way to pass on.
Well, what people don't realize is, right, we plant all these people, they die, and then, you know, because we're Westerners and shit and whatever fucking religion they have going on, they think that body's got something to do with the fucking 21 ounces of soul that's floating around. It's doing whatever with the energy that's got to transfer. Yeah. Energy can't be destroyed, right? So when it leaves here, and I can't remember what the study was, but they weighed a body like seconds before death, and then, you know, the individual left, and there was 21 ounces that they couldn't account for because there was no liquids or any other material inside the body, but 21 ounces was gone, right? So that energy transferred somewhere. However, some people require that vehicle, that husk, that leather fucking bag that person cruised around Earth on, gets dressed up, gets placed in a super expensive fucking box. It gets placed in another super expensive box.
Yeah.
It gets placed in a fucking giant concrete box.
Yeah.
Right? So you got like 3 pieces of gear that aren't going to fucking start deteriorating for like 700-800 years. And then eventually that shit's going to get to the fucking water table.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that's the best our people can come up with? That's the fucking apex of their fucking intellectual performance. I know. Let's put a bunch of dead shit and a bunch of fucking boxes that aren't going to rot for fucking 800 years.
Right? So
when they start rotting, they can start polluting the fucking water table, so we can't drink the water.
Exactly.
That's fucking brilliant.
Exactly.
Fucking brilliant.
So that's, you know, I've got into death coaching and death doula and end of life coaching. What? They call it a death doula.
Uh-huh.
So end of life coaching, death doula, death coaching. Looking at funeral director stuff, just to, if I present this in the way that I present it, I want to make sure I'm just totally as understanding and as care I don't want to say carefree, but care driven. There you go. Care driven as I possibly can. I go to plenty of seminars. I went to one about the VA and the benefits the VA does or does not have, what they do, what they will and will not do, how much money is actually allocated, and how to get that money
to the families or whomever's dealing with the corpse.
Exactly.
Right.
How to be buried, you know, with fellow soldiers, how to be buried on veteran-driven cemeteries and that. So it's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
Are you doing it purely as an altruistic route, or are you doing it for, I mean, don't get me wrong, are you doing it for profit motive, or are you doing it so it can be an occupation for you, or are you doing it only for service for the community? And I'm not fucking throwing rocks at you, I'm just asking.
It started off as I'm doing it right now, honestly. So it's starting off as a service to the community.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at the occupational side of it. I actually know, there's a guy I used to go to the gym with that his family's owned funeral home in Harlem for generations. Right. So he's in Europe right now, but him and I are going to start talking about like greener ways. Right. You know, even if you deal with like cremation, as much admissions that are put into the fucking atmosphere for everybody that's actually burnt. Yeah. It's ridiculous. The embalmings, the embalming stuff.
Well, there's fucking chemicals that they throw into the bodies to preserve it for whatever fucking purpose. It's what the fuck? Why the fuck you need to do that? Yeah. What you don't need that leather husk to be preserved for the next 100 years.
And honestly, to answer your question, I mean, you know, my father had a stroke, which about a year and a half ago. So I've been in hospices, I've been in nursing homes for the last year and a half. I'm dealing with my mother and trying to figure out her mortality.
Has she developed Alzheimer's, or is she just starting to lose her memory? What's that looking like?
It's a great question. You know, my mother kept saying for years my dad had dementia. He's got dementia. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I had no idea. So to see it firsthand, like, oh, this means this. He doesn't
No,
know who
it's
the hell you
fucking
are. He doesn't know
startling.
where you are. He's
Right.
babbling and all this. So
Now, that's a fucking frightening ordeal. And I'll comment on my situation when you're finished. Not sorry to interrupt.
no, it's fine. I
Yeah.
would say, and I told my mother this, I'm like, Ma, you're going to have to believe that you dealing with this for 15 years or 10 years, that you picked up.
That's too much.
You
It's
picked
too
up
long.
some nuances of this. Not to say it would change her neuron path, but she's going to kind of mimic him in some sort of ways. But the only thing I see right now, she reacts to stress not well.
Your father passed recently, didn't he?
Correct.
How long ago?
February.
February.
Yeah.
No, I remember we talked about that, and I apologize. I
no,
couldn't
it's
remember
fine.
the date. That's a fucking hard thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry about that.
No,
I'm
it's
glad
fine.
you're through that shit. But also, it fucking ended his suffering.
True.
He's fucking
True.
Air Force dude. He's a fucking vet. He did a bunch of fucking shit. And then, to be reduced to where you're completely dependent on everybody for everything.
True.
That's fucking terrible. I'm not down with that shit. So I have instructions with my daughters. If I get to that situation, they're gonna take away, a bunch of gear and shit. And if I'm able, it's like I'm gonna take a rifle and a fucking a tomahawk and fucking head to Alaska and see what the fuck happens. I'm totally not fucking around.
Wow. That's a thought.
No, that's exactly what. If I'm capable, if I'm able. But anyway,
but honestly, to answer your question, I really feel like this is where I've been led to. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
My temperament is different. My patience level is through the roof. You know what I mean? So, and I've tested it in various ways. But as I started researching about dementia and how to deal with that, and then when my father passed and having to, that happening so rapidly, and try to figure out how to navigate all that and what are our choices, and I'm there with him. He's on a slab, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dead body on a slab, and we chose to cremate him. I'm just like,
good.
There's got to be a more humane way to do this. I mean, this is pretty close, but there's got to be more. So
but
that kind of
still they fucking
research.
filled them full of fucking chemicals and shit for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then you got to burn those chemicals, so that releases toxic fucking filth into the environment.
Yeah.
Now, and don't get me wrong, all humans are the fucking same. However, when you inject a bunch of chemicals in them, so the people looking at the fucking corpse that passed, why?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
That's just how I feel about it.
No, I agree with you. But research shows that cremation's up about 80%,
Good.
90%.
Good.
But still, all those bodies in the ground is crazy.
Well, and exactly, all the bodies in the ground eventually polluting the water table. That will happen.
Yes.
That is happening. As we speak, it's happening. And then we, as humans, we're fucking consumed with so much fucking ego and insecurity and self-centered fear, right? That we're so afraid of death.
Mm.
We're so afraid of death that we hire these people to remove the internal organs, then pump the fucking husk full of fucking chemicals, dump a bunch of makeup and shit on it, put a bunch of fancy clothes on it, so we can take a fucking gander at it for, however many days, and then bounce, and then burn it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
And because I'm in Mass, taking care of my mother, you pass a graveyard every 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's some that the headstones are knocked over. There's the wife's knocked over, the husband's up, the kids are knocked over. Like, it's just, after a while, man, it's I don't know who convinced people to start doing that, but after a while, it just doesn't seem like, if there's no one left to go visit this person, like, what are we doing?
No, we're fucking it up, dude.
What are we doing?
I think we started fucking it up in the late 70s when we started having kids wear bicycle helmets, right? That's when I think it started. Because gave the kids bicycle helmets, and next thing you know, they can be stupid and not suffer physical fucking pain. Stupidity should be painful. You know what I'm saying? If one stupidity is painful, you're a lot less likely to be fucking stupid, right?
Oh,
exactly. I'm not going to do this because it fucking hurts.
Right.
Magic.
We'll go read some shit.
Right, exactly. But no, you can be stupid and not have to fucking pay for it. Yeah, that didn't do us any favors. But I'm with you with that shit. And along with that, I believe, the participation trophies, everybody's a fucking fragile, perfect porcelain doll. Your kids aren't getting fucking smacked anymore when they're being dickheads.
Right.
There's no accountability.
Right.
Nobody's fucking responsible for anything. That hasn't done us any favors.
At all.
In any community.
At all.
And one thing, if our government had enough African American people and enough fucking black people in it where they would actually come out and say, oh yeah, we've been at war with the black community forever because they're too fucking powerful and too intelligent. No, I'm not fucking around. Because you know that's what fucking happened, right? That's exactly what happened. And you know this. Say, for example, a woman has 1, 2, 3 children, right? And she's getting some assistance from the government. She's fucking working. She's getting a little bit of extra money to send her kids to school and buy clothes and all that other shit. As soon as a man enters the equation, those, the stipend that she's receiving that isn't paying for everything, that stipend is reduced dramatically.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
Yep.
So, what the fuck?
And she's got to say that he was no good.
Or whatever.
He was a piece of shit guy. Right. Father gone.
Right.
Can't help.
No, and
she's got to throw him under the bus to keep getting that money.
It's open fucking secret, and it's fucking happening, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's total fucking bullshit. And I hope somebody fixes it at some point in time. But the elitist filth of the top 1% needs us to be separated for whatever reason, so they can get their programs, earmarked for the extra cash and whatever the fuck. It's nonsense. And the best part is the regular people like you and I are seeing that shit.
Yeah.
They're fucking seeing it. Because you don't see the fucking racism and the horseshit on the street. You just don't fucking see it.
No.
Don't get me wrong. There's crazy people and all that nonsense. But you don't fucking see it.
Right.
You just don't. And also tell me, I know that your mother, your dad was in the Air Force. Your mother and your father were at one point in time divorced. Then your mom goes to college. Then she gets involved with the Black Panthers, and then boom, you're injected into that situation.
Correct.
And people hear Black Panthers and they're thinking, oh, it's fucking anti-white this, it's anti-that, it's fucking racist, all this other shit. And it's not fucking accurate.
Right.
What they wanted to do was assist the fucking black community and let them get a fucking fair piece of the fucking pie.
Correct.
That was it. It wasn't like we had to fucking murder as many white people as we can.
Nope.
It's like, no, we get a fucking fair shot too. What the fuck? So you were involved in that particular situation for how many years of your life?
So from the time I can remember walking and
What's
talking.
that? Fucking 7, 6, 5?
Well, like 2, 3.
Right on.
We were actually living with other fellow Black Panthers. We were in Rochester.
Right.
So about 2 to 7, and then we moved to Massachusetts.
Right.
From 7 on.
Right.
So hardcore wise, everyday wise,
Yeah.
I'd say from 2 to 10.
Right on.
By the time we moved to Texas in like 80, 81, it was over.
Yeah.
She stopped talking about it as much.
Yeah.
At that point, I was totally in and understood exactly what her point of view was, and used it to the best of my ability to be that young. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, to fit in and do what you could to assist in your community and everything else. So, good for you. And then when did you start with Afro Brutality? When did you see the need for that particular assistance for individuals to get into working out and into that lifestyle? When did all that start?
That's 2008.
2008?
2008.
Good.
So I had went through my own fitness journey. I'd lost about 120 pounds.
Right.
I was just a corporate guy, so I was flying around the country with meetings.
Eating fucking bullshit, sitting on your ass, talking to fucking dumbasses about dumb shit.
Exactly. Not necessarily going to the gym. And when I did, I wasn't necessarily doing a fucking thing.
No.
So after kind of figuring out my own little fitness journey, I was like, there's got to be a way to teach this to other people. There's got to be a more efficient way to do that. There's got to be a better way to do that. There's got to be more that I could actually teach.
Right.
So then I kind of, ran into CrossFit. I did CrossFit, and then this thing they call Jim Jones.
Right.
And then sort of just developed my own thing from the ideology, the ideologies and the methodologies that they taught. And went right in the streets of Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, wherever, and just taught it right in the street as much as possible.
Cool. Well, I'm a big fan of fucking Afro Brutality. I got the fucking gear and shit.
Thank you.
And the reason being, one, because I'm a fucking short, old fucking white dude, and me wearing Afro Brutality shit fucks with people, and I like fucking with people.
I love it.
So I do that shit. Anyway, the main reason I wanted you to come on here is because you got a fucking bad rap. And the reason he got a bad rap is there's a buddy of ours, Rory Hamill. Rory Hamill had lost a leg, stepped on a fucking pressure plate. Thank Christ, when he lost the fucking leg, he cauterized it, right? So he was an amputee. He got out, and of course, the alcoholism and all the other shit, but he got out of that, and he was helping a bunch of people. You and Rory became friends, I think it was a couple of years before he killed himself, right?
Yeah.
Right, so he killed himself on May 1st, 2020. And then because you and Rory were friends, approximately how often did you guys speak? Roughly.
Oh, that's a great question. So I got some notes.
Okay, please.
Thank you.
So did you write them down?
I wrote it down. I wrote this shit down. Let me get my glasses. Don't fuck with me.
The reason that's funny is because I was fucking with you about it.
Yes, I don't do this.
No, I do.
Nice job.
I'm an old motherfucker too. So
Same.
put your glasses on. Goddamn it.
So our first text message was April 14th,
right,
2019.
Right.
Most from there on out, from April to about November,
right,
2019, just DMs back and forth.
Right, but that's like, it could be, a couple of days or maybe a fucking couple of minutes.
Right.
And then depending on what the fuck's going on, it could
Comments
be all fucking
back
night.
and forth.
Yeah.
Right. Comments back and forth. Oh, you like that? I like that too. Did you hear this? Oh, I heard this too. Back and forth, back and forth. We mainly talked about he wanted to be, I'll use the word popular, but he wanted to be more popular.
He wanted to have a presence so he could get out there and fucking keep people from getting fucking addicted to drugs and alcohol and fucking killing himself.
Yes.
Because what happens, veterans get out, something fucking bad happens, the fucking VA throws all these fucking drugs at them, right? And the first thing that goes is your ability to get up and be positive. That just fucking goes away because it cranks your mood down, right? And then your fucking dick quits working.
Mm-hmm.
Then your dick quits working, and then the depression kicks in like a motherfucker, and then you fucking kill yourself. That's what happens.
Okay.
All the fucking time. However, when you talk to people and you don't take the fucking meds and you smoke some fucking weed or whatever the fuck, and you go to the gym and you start a business and you mix with your fucking people, that shit goes away. So that's what he was aiming for when you and he started talking. And you started talking about building his fucking social media platform and shit. What did that look like?
So he did CrossFit as well.
Right.
And what we talked about in terms of his social media, because he felt like he was hard to try to figure it out. He couldn't figure it out. I don't know, how do I get more engagement? How do I get more? I see other guys.
You fucking do it. That's how you do it. You do it every single fucking day. And when people send you shit, you answer it.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we talked about different collaborations, him and I. Once Johnny and I had put together what we were going to do in terms of Villain 6, immediately had Rory a part of it and talked about it.
Now, what about those video projects? You had some video projects that were fucking lined up. I want to hear about those too.
So Johnny and I were doing video projects back and forth.
Right.
We had different teams. We were trying out different guys.
Right.
I wanted to get to a solid base so that I could bring Rory in.
Right.
So once I met you and Jason, this was like, okay, this is the place where we're going to build this from. Right. So we had video projects where we're going to like rob a bank, and then we were going to come here and do the podcast. We discussed all that shit.
Absolutely. We had the beginning of a framework.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and rob a bank, it was a fucking play. It's
right, it was a play. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that these motherfuckers are gonna rob a bank. Fucking
no doubt.
Look at their background. We have a bunch of fucking black Suburbans outside. Fuck all that. We were fucking joking. It was a fucking project for film. It's fucking film. It's fiction, motherfucker. No, we're not robbing a bank. Mellow the fuck out.
So Rory and I talked basically about that. How to create a presence.
Right.
What could I do to help? So we kind of went back and forth with that.
And while that's happening, I saw you up at the fucking machine gun shoot.
Correct.
So we're up there, and there's couple hundred people up there doing machine gun shoots, raising money for fucking good causes, that kind of shit.
Absolutely.
So it's not like you guys are just talking. You guys are actually fucking doing shit.
Right.
Right.
So November 7th is when I got the invite to go to the veteran shoot.
Okay.
So I was talking with, right around November 18th, him and I were talking about doing something where we can include all of us,
Right.
and Andy over at First Forum.
Right.
So I was kind of going back and forth with
Right.
Andy about what we're gonna do. Rory was
Are
going
you
back
guys
and forth
pals
with
or what?
Andy.
Or is he gonna fucking be like, we've
Yeah,
said my name on the podcast?
I don't know. I'm trying not to mention names because I don't know who's going to say whatever.
Andy, grab a hold of Sin.
There
I
you
don't
go.
fucking know you.
Okay,
Whatever.
copy.
Okay.
And we were going to do that under the villain unit name. So him and
Right.
I talked about flying out to Andy to
Right.
meet Andy out in St. Louis.
If you and Andy are having fucking text and shit, you're
Right, we're
talking
going
about,
back and forth.
there's some fucking symbiosis there. There's
Right.
There's a parallel
Right,
energy. You're gonna do something.
right,
Right.
right. So right around December,
Mhm.
I got an invite from my guy, Ryan, out of San Diego, who was going to take over my apparel business.
Right.
So he's like, Sin, I'm going to send a ticket. So he sends me a ticket. He's like, oh, we'll put you up in a nice hotel. He put me in a hotel.
Right.
So right around December, we stopped talking about Andy and the V unit and stuff like that. And then I got ready to go to San Diego so I could talk with Ryan and have him take over my apparel business. Correct.
So you could clear up the fucking time and energy to jump
without
into
losing
this
any
fucking
money.
fitness thing.
Exactly.
For real, because Ryan, he's a former SEAL also.
He
right?
is.
Right.
There you
Ryan,
go.
and not only that, he's fucking crushing it in the apparel business. Crushing it. What's his company? Say it. I don't know. I forgot it.
Industry Ink Works.
Okay, Industry Ink Works. Okay, good.
Or
Ryan at
Works,
Industry Ink Works. You guys are pals. He's going to take over the Afro Brutality.
Correct.
Fucking clothing line.
Correct.
And you were going to be cleared up to focus on
V-Unit,
exercise.
Villain 6,
right. Okay.
done.
Gotcha.
And military suicide prevention.
Right. Like the whole thing, because Rory was out, talking to people about not fucking killing yourself, talking to people about what to do when you're dealing with a fucking amputee situation.
Correct.
He was out doing all the fucking shit that you're supposed to be doing so you don't fucking smoke yourself.
Correct.
Right. Go ahead.
So this is how it was going to be me and Johnny, Rory, and a few of his friends.
Right.
And that's how we're going to bring it all together and collaborate on it.
Right. So you had a bunch, if I recall this correctly, you had several video projects that you were working on.
Right.
You were actually working on the scenes. You were working on the scripts. You were working on the actors and shit.
We storyboarded it.
There's like 6 fucking projects
Correct.
that you're pushing through with fucking storyboards. Like it's like a real thing. It's like a fucking business.
Correct.
It's almost time to fucking launch it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Right. And then what happens?
So right around December, I can't remember which day.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Okay, right around December, I got a visit from one of my guys at iHeartRadio. He's the VP of something from iHeartRadio. So it was another avenue that once we had this put together, we could go right to iHeartRadio.
Fuck yeah.
Done.
Bingo.
And I can't remember what day that was.
Hey, who the fuck cares?
It's pretty.
It don't matter what. It's in that fucking timeline somewhere.
Yeah. It's in that. Okay, got it. Okay,
right.
Great. Okay, boom. So that's all we did. That's all we did.
Right.
Yeah. That's all we did. And at the same time, I'm doing graphics. I'm trying to figure out names.
No, I recall all that shit.
Because once iHeartRadio came into play,
we discussed that too after you had that conversation.
They had a project manager call me.
Right.
And I had to put together 6 one-hour shows. I think it was 6 half-hour shows.
And that's where that fucking book came from, because you and I talked about it.
Exactly.
I wrote the shit down. And you can't, here, lift that up. You can't see this, but I put a fucking book together for him with a bunch of fucking notes in it because I was going to assist you on that fucking deal. It just never happened. Sir. I think these. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what that
cool.
is.
That's all right. I'll go through them and give them to you when we're done.
So what I noticed was him and I were not talking as much. Rory and I was not talking as much between the
this
December.
This is leading up to May.
Correct.
Right.
December to like January.
Right.
So like December 27th. So in December 27th, he was talking about he's going to get a new website, he's going to get new social media, he's going to make it crisp.
And this is 19.
Right, 2019.
Right.
This is December 22nd, 2019. So him and I kind of went back and forth. I was like, so, I got you, whatever you need. I know a few people, give you that criticism, back and forth. So we didn't talk again until New Year's Eve.
Right.
And then hey, New Year's Eve, hey, Happy New Year's. But that was our last text message Oh no, no. That was our last DM. Was Happy New Year. Oh no, actually, our last conversation was March 26th, 2020.
Right. Okay.
That was our last DM.
Right.
Oh, and January 10th is when I told him about iHeartRadio.
Right.
Him and I checked in February 6th and then February 8th.
Right. Just like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? That
exactly.
Kind of shit. Right.
Hold on, what was the last one? Okay, yeah, and February 8th was the last time we spoke at all.
Right. And then so fucking 3 months
told
later.
Me you love me.
Yeah, of course you did. You know, because that's what happens. You become fucking close with fucking people, and you tell them you fucking love them. And the reason I say that to fucking people all the time is because there's some misconception out there when people think, you know, when it's time for you to die, you think that there's like this boring movie that plays your life.
Right.
And that ain't it. What happens was, for me, you're thinking, am I even with everybody? Does everybody that I know that I fucking love them?
Right.
And everybody I hate, fuck them. All right, my shit's solid. Let's fucking go. And that's been my experience.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So March 26th was the last DM.
March, yeah. So that's fucking.
February 8th was the last text message.
And then two months later, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody had heard from him from a couple days. He's drinking some whiskey and then he shot himself in the mouth on a fucking chair in his apartment. Right?
Yeah.
So he shot himself in the mouth in a chair in his apartment. And then what? How the family reached out to you, and what did that relationship look like?
Well, Kurt, and I'm sorry, Kurt, I can't remember your last name.
It doesn't matter. Who is he?
Kurt is state police.
Okay.
Jersey. Or he could be just Jersey.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry, Kurt.
Okay.
Kurt
ain't watching this, don't worry.
He calls me at midnight. I think it was midnight.
The day of. So it's like he calls you May 2nd, the day after.
Right. So
right.
So midnight
the 2nd.
Right. And he says he's gone.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to be, you call me.
He
I didn't get it till the next day.
He knows your pals, right?
Right. So he called me and he
tells you what's up.
Right. And then I brought a few other people and we were kind of talking. So I'm trying to find it.
Right. No, you don't need to find it. Just tell me. You don't need to prove nothing to me. If I thought you're full of shit, we wouldn't be fucking talking.
That's true. Okay. Right. So we were talking every day.
Right.
Some of us were talking every day just to try to figure out
what the fuck, what we can do, how we can help.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Right.
What happens now? Like.
Right.
And some things are moving quicker than others.
Right.
So a few people, I think it was. I can't remember her name, but I guess a woman that was writing a book.
Right.
That said, this was the book that Rory wanted to write.
Right.
Reached out to me.
Right.
Either the second or the third, like almost immediately.
Right. Immediately following his death.
Right. And I'm calling you. I'm calling Ray. I'm calling Jay.
Everybody.
Like, what do we do? Here's what's happening.
Yeah.
How do I navigate this? What do I say? What am I doing? And it just got to the point where I felt like she said he put me in charge or whatever.
Right.
But I just felt like I was getting more. I don't know what the right word would be.
No,
I was getting more than I deserved. You know what I mean? I felt like it was
negative
getting more
energy or what?
Well, I just felt like I was getting more than I desered.
What are you talking about? Getting more? More what?
Well, people, I got an author calling me, talking about his book and how he wanted me in the book. I felt like, and at that point, I kind of felt responsible to help this be. This is his last wishes, you know what I mean? This is like his last will and testament, so to speak. And here I am, like, feeling like I'm a part of it, but I also am feeling like, who the hell am I?
No, I got you.
Who the fuck am I to be doing this? You know what I mean? Like, technically, I just met this guy. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I hear you, but also, you had developed this relationship. You spent lots of time on the telephone. You spent lots of time together. You were pushing these fucking business projects forward and that kind of shit. So, granted, the relationship, as far as time-wise, is new. However, if you're not fucking gelling, you're not fucking gelling. Sometimes people just fucking gel.
True.
Sometimes it happens. True. And it just does. It's just the fucking way it is.
I just that's sort of how I felt.
Yeah.
It got to the point I felt like, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to be doing all this?
Right.
I'm sure I'm sure the kids are going to be grieving more than me. I'm sure ex-mom or whatever the mother,
fuck, yeah.
there's hundreds of people that are probably grieving more, and in my mind, I thought deserved it more than I did.
Right.
So I just pulled back,
Right.
you know, and I stopped posting about them I stopped posting at all, and then just kind of deal with them in my own way. I kind of just, me and Rory have our own little thing.
Right.
I don't want the criticism for it. You know
well,
what I mean? I got tired of it.
It's funny that you bring that up because, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have the show and get this fucking thing out there. You received a lot of fucking criticism that was fucking undue. A lot of people thought that you were using Rory's fucking suicide and all the fucking bullshit behind that to further some fucking agenda. And that's not fucking accurate. I know you weren't. You were posting about it because he was your fucking bro. You fucking love the guy. And you wanted to put as much of a tribute up there as you fucking could. Absolutely. It wasn't like you were putting fucking Afro Brutality's doing a fucking benefit for Rory. Villain 6 is doing a benefit for Rory. Black God White Devil's doing a benefit for Rory. Using fucking Rory's name to generate revenue and do fucking bullshit. My understanding of the situation was he was your fucking bro and you were putting shit up there because you fucking loved him. It's the first fucking suicide you had to fucking deal with.
That's right.
And a lot of us fucking took it hard. How I feel it happened was the individuals that may not have spent as much time with him were fucking jealous. And, you know, they can fucking reach out to me. I'm not fucking hard to find. I know all those dudes. I'm fucking bros with them. However, I think you got a bunch of fucking negative energy and criticism and fucking bullshit that you didn't deserve. And if I thought you were a fucking scumbag and you were trying to fucking just roll up on his energy, like I told you, you and I would have talked about it off-site somewhere and got to fucking figure it out.
That's right.
And I didn't see that. And and again, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm a tiny little fucking old fucking fat dude. You know, but the reality is if your shit's fucked up, you're going to get fucking dealt with.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that. And if I thought you were fucked up and you got dealt with, you would have. And, you know, again, I'm not a fucking tough guy, but, you know, some shit you just don't fuck around with. And when you fuck around with one of my dead brothers, you wake up on fire in a fucking dumpster. That's how it turns out.
I mean,
and I don't think you misuse that.
You know, I talked to the ex-wife,
right? Of course,
saying that.
She fucking reached out to you
all the time, dude.
Didn't she fucking reach out to you to go to the fucking funeral?
Right. So
she asked you to fucking join her.
She put it out there. Man.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you fucking jumped on the back of her car and like, hey, honey, fucking hook me up. She fucking reached out to you.
I have the certificate. I have the family certificate to go on to Arlington.
But my point in bringing that up was, she fucking reached out to you, and she wanted your fucking company and comfort. Even though her and Rory were fucking divorced and all that other shit, it's never fucking good. But there's always two sides to every story. And there's two sides to every story, and somewhere in the middle is the fucking truth, right? So that woman reached out to you and asked you to join her in probably the worst fucking time she's ever had.
Of course.
Right. So you're out there to fucking assist.
Yeah.
And you took some video and you fucking posted it, and people misinterpreted it, and you got a fucking bad rap for it, which is fucking horseshit. Because people probably sent you, you know, cunty fucking texts and shit, but nobody said, hey, dude, let's go sit down and have fucking lunch.
Nobody.
Let's go to, except I did. Yes, actually, I did.
Of course, you did.
We went and sat down and had fucking hamburgers and fucking French fries because we needed to talk about some shit. Because I was like, hey, motherfuckers, this is what's going on. Nice. And you're like, no. And I was like, fuck, all right then. But my point in that shit is, everybody's a fucking tough guy on a fucking cell phone.
True.
You know, everybody's a fucking badass on a fucking keyboard or whatever the fuck. However, you got fucking shit to fucking clear up and deal with. You sit down with a motherfucker and you look at him.
That's right.
You know, I don't ever have negative conversations on a telephone. I don't send negative fucking bullshit emails. If we're going to clear something up, then we're going to meet, sit down and talk about it and clear it up. Because it's easy to call somebody a motherfucker on a phone. However, we can reach each other. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get it figured out, whatever that is. You know? But most likely, it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And you get it figured out. So it's important to me that we got this out there. And I hope some people reach out to me or reach out to you and understand that that's not what the fuck was going on. And again, if I thought you were a fuckhead, it would be different. But I don't. And you and I have had conversations about every goddamn thing, you know? And I'm happy that you're here. I'm pleased that everything's going the way it's going. And, we're going to be in touch. We're going to be doing more shit.
Thank you.
And I'm happy about that. You got anything else you want to put out before Harold fucking kicks us out of here? What? I'm ugly. I'm ugly. And
you're more than ugly, motherfucker. Okay, you're more than ugly. But I am going to start talking about Rory again. I am going to start doing some tributes and shit. I am going to fuck him because
triple fuck
why not, dude?
And
I've waited long enough,
dude. We'll put the show out. You'll give the fucking whatever shit you need to give Harold for Afro Brutality, Black God Villains, whatever the fuck. You'll give it to him. We'll make sure it's up on the video, and then you throw it wherever the fuck you want to throw it.
Awesome.
And Rory's death was one of the suicides that hit me the hardest. We did a show about it, and I couldn't even get through the brief eulogy because I started crying. So I had to fucking stop recording several times because I'm that guy. It just happened.
Dude, going through this, well, I buried this. Yeah. I buried all of this.
Don't bury all that shit, dude. Because
I did, dude. I buried all this shit.
Anytime there's fucking darkness, right? Anytime there's negative shit that's growing, if you keep it fucking under everything and the sunlight can't get to it, it's going to continue growing. When the fucking darkness gets hit by the fucking sunlight, it don't grow.
True.
But also you realize one can't exist without the other.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick the shit that you want to grow. And that ain't it.
Unpacking all this, dude, I was crying nonstop.
Fuck yeah, of course.
Nonstop, dude.
Right.
I had to put it away for a while.
No, I got you.
And then pick it back up. And then put it down. And then pick it up. Looking at all those old text messages.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Brother, I got you. And I feel you. And I fucking love you.
Thank you.
And if you were a fucking shit sack, we'd fucking figured it out long before today.
I know that.
Right. And I'm just being real, man. And again, I'm the opposite of a fucking tough guy.
Appreciate it.
I bruise easy and I think I'm a bleeder. Nice. Anyway, on fucking my side of the news, I'm putting a fucking book out. And the book is going to be all fiction, of course, for a couple reasons. One, because polonium is a real thing. Fort Leavenworth is a real thing. And who the fuck wants to spend eternity in jail? Just saying. It's going to be all fiction, and the title is going to be It's Fucking All Lies. It's Fucking All Lies. That's the title, because it's fucking all lies, and it's fiction. And you're only going to be able to buy it on causefuckyou.com. So, don't get me wrong. My bro's going to get a copy. They're not going to have to fucking buy it.
Well, thank you.
But the point is, I'm bringing that up is because it's going to be out in about a month. And we're going to be doing some more shit about it.
I love it.
Doing some more shit, some more videos, some more projects and shit like that. And Afro Brutality and causefuckyou.com. There's some
synergy there.
Some symbiosis there.
Some symbiosis. I like it.
Well, fucking short, fat, old, ugly, fucking white dude wearing fucking Afro Brutality shit.
It's the best shit ever. It's the best shit.
And then people are like, hey, why are you doing that? Because fuck you, that's why.
Twice. Fuck you twice.
Quadruple fuck you.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think that's all we got, man.
Thank you.
I don't got anything else. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I did.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking about one thing this morning, right?
Here we go.
One of my, I can't remember who was fucking talking to me about this. They were like, a short little dude, he had a fucking giant girlfriend, like giant. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, giant chicks are awesome. It's like playing on the monkey bars. I was like, that's fucking spectacular. I got to share that on the show today. That. And then another thing, one of the guys we used to work with was like, you know what, man?
He does this all the time?
Is that? I do what?
You do these fucking jokes?
What are you, hey, motherfucker, what? You talking to me now? What the fuck are you talking to him about?
I'm just saying.
Shut up.
I want to get some clarity.
I'm going to fucking stab you with a pen.
Please don't.
You think I won't?
Yeah, you will.
You shut the fuck up then, and we're still going. Still going, Sin.
Okay.
He's still shooting.
Yes.
Fucker. If you have a mom and a dad, you can't be fucked up. You're not allowed to be psychologically fucked up.
So
too
this
bad.
Is called moment
if
of
you
dad.
have a mom and a dad.
Oh, if you have a mom and a dad.
If you have a mom and a dad, you're not allowed to be psychologically fucked up.
Gotcha.
And also, I don't know if they saw me kick you, but yeah, I do that shit.
Nice. Yeah. Appreciate it.
I'm a puncher and a kicker and a biter.
All right, I'm going to have to get rid of it.
I'm just saying, motherfucker. That's just how it works. Anyway, dude, fucking love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Definitely.
You know the deal, bro.
Thank you.
And we talk all the time. Hey, quit. That's my fucking jerk off hand. You know I'm a chronic masturbator. What's wrong with you?
Can we end this?
Anyway, that's it. It's the end of the show.
Thank you.
So fucking make sure you watch the next one, you filthy fucking meat sacks.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's a good show.
It is.